I used to live on a street called Meadowview Street, but there wasn't any meadow anywhere near it. So I've made up the story about a kid who changes her street to make it sound more like the name of the street. It's one kid making a difference. I grew up on a dairy farm in Virginia. We had a woods on the farm that was like this enchanted forest. It was just such a great environment for exploration and discovery. My biggest fear for today's kids is that there just seems to be less and less of an opportunity for them to be outside, and so there's less of a connection with kids and the environment outside. And that's why this place, Longwood Gardens, oh my gosh, special, special place.
My first visit to Longwood Gardens, I was maybe 4 or 5 years old. My grandmother brought me on a road trip, and she takes most of the credit for my horticulture career. I started as a conservatory gardener in the orangery, which is one of the earliest buildings that Pierre Dupont built when he was creating Longwood Gardens. When you walk in, you forget everything you left outside of Longwood. It's magical. The green wall here at Longwood Gardens is one of our newest additions to the conservatory space. All the plants are in panels. They're slid into place and they grow in the wall. There is an irrigation system worked throughout, and it is set up so that the areas that get the most sun are the areas that are going to be getting the most water. So really it is conserving water by only watering what's needed.
My favorite place at Longwood Gardens is the Flower Garden Walk. One of the interesting things about how Mr. Dupont designed the Flower Garden Walk is that it's designed like this, so that when you're in this end of the border, you can only see as far as the circular fountain, and you cannot see the other side. So when you get to the fountain, it's like a surprise. 2 years ago, we renovated the theater garden, which is close to the Flower Garden Walk. We completely revamped it, took out most of the plants, took out almost all of the soil, and put in a new dry garden. Dry gardens are becoming more and more popular. Rather than plant lawns or trees that need a lot of water, people are starting to think a little more sustainably and plant plants that don't need a lot of water. Art and science at Longwood goes hand in hand. They're constantly trying to figure out how to grow something better. I think anybody who has a keen interest in science would be interested in horticulture.
When you're in school and you're taking all these classes that maybe you don't think are all that relevant, English, math, when am I going to use this? I've said that, we've all said that. But now that I'm here at Longwood Gardens, I find all these things are coming into play on a fairly regular basis. You think you're going to be a gardener and you're just going to be digging in the dirt and pruning things and using a shovel all day. But really, when it comes down to it, you're communicating with others and sharing your passion with the world.